Brodes Media.
Joel Embiid! Joel Embiid! I don't know how to wrap my head around what he does. A 40-point triple-double, 10 assists. He's running down the floor after Matisse Thybulle gets one of his 6 steals, and he's just toying with them on a fast break, pretending to pass, keeping it within his possession, and going to the rack as hard as possible, gets fouled, and looks at the crowd with this intense face of just unbelievableness, and it's ridiculous. I've never seen anything like it. And the fact that in the fourth quarter, he's getting double teamed. He pulls a little shimmy fadeaway jumper. Next possession, he's at the top of the three-point line, looks right at the rim and nails a three. This guy's just toying with every single individual in the league. Oh, did I fail to mention, shame on me, that I didn't open up the show with the most exciting part of this entire effort, which was the fact that he ended the career of Jarrett Allen. He literally did. I've never seen anything like that in my life. My dog was sleeping on the floor. I got 2 dogs, and my fiance was sleeping on the other side of the couch. Shame on them for not witnessing greatness at the exact time that it happened. But as soon as Joel Embiid gets fouled the way that he did previously, he's leaning over and holding his lower back. We're all going, no, grabbing the brown paper bag, right? We're trying to get our own air. We're worried for Joel Embiid, but we're also worried for our own lives because we couldn't even get any sort of air into our lungs and out of our lungs after we saw that happen. And then after George Niang, let's give credit to him for making it even happen. But that dunk was the greatest dunk I've ever seen in my entire life. I woke up the whole family. I woke up the whole neighborhood. I think everyone in South Jersey turned their lights on going, what the hell was that? Oh, it was just Brodes. It was just Joel Embiid again. I forgot that Joel Embiid could do that to Brodes. What a ridiculous performance. And that Cleveland Cavaliers team, they're a damn good team. And you saw that with Garland, but the Sixers had the answers. Now, he exploded and definitely had some nice moments. But Matisse Thybulle, who's doing excellent since the trade deadline. And I think that there's some energy involved in just like a motivation factor of, hey, they felt that confident in me. I'm going to take a step up. And not only that, we've already seen multiple occasions of Joel Embiid looking at Matisse Thybulle as a young one, a young buck, and giving him that type of motivation as well. Like him himself speaking to him, telling him to do things differently, and watching Joel dominate games the way that he does. It's something where these younger players that know Daryl Morey is very fond of them. Tyrese Maxey and Matisse Thybulle, the combination of those 2 young bucks, really is something to be said about him. I believe it seems, at least from my eye test and from learning from Doc Rivers and cutting, there were so many cuts early on when Joel Embiid would see 2 defenders. He's moving without the basketball, being found running right underneath the basket, and I'm going to imagine that that's going to continue to improve. But it wasn't only Matisse Thybulle on the defensive side. Let's not just forget what Tobias Harris did for a nice stretch on Garland. And this dude can ball. This kid is no joke whatsoever. So just a beautiful, beautiful game by your 76ers. And it was so much fun to watch. This is what the team can do. And oh, by the way, James Harden isn't even on the floor yet. Okay, you want to talk about motivation? I think Joel Embiid, after that trade, like we thought he was a sicko as it is. We thought that he was so damn wired in such an elite way prior to Daryl Morey acquiring James Harden. That move, and then his comments towards Ben Simmons after last game saying, I guess him wanting his own team and winning's not good enough. I'm paraphrasing, but that was basically a summary. I think I have it here on a sticky note that just totally left my desk, and I'm too lazy to go grab it for you and stop this flow. But basically, he's taking shots at Ben Simmons, and now you see someone who, sure, he likes to mess around a bit after the games, or when he's not on the floor, he likes to go to the clubs. Maybe Delilah's getting some phone calls or cheerleaders, you name it. But whenever he's not messing around, he's fully engaged on the court. It's either full on court or full-on Delilahs. I'll take that any day of the week. This guy is an animal, and I can't wait for him to play a two-man game between him and Joel Embiid. And then you got Maxey flirting around for double-digit points, 16 points. Look, Joel Embiid, in his first 8 minutes of run tonight, had 14, 4 assists, and 3 rebounds. He had a triple-double, and nobody could stop him. He's an unbelievable passer. You heard me. He's an unbelievable passer. Do you remember how many times he would be miserable in that department? We're watching things that blow me away. Away! This doesn't make any sense whatsoever. Embrace every moment of it. You have a real shot with someone playing this way. That's just reality of the situation. And now you're adding James Harden. This is what NBA championship caliber superstar looks like. Seriously. So when you think about years past, and I know today's not the day to do this. We should just live in the moment and appreciate it. But if you think about Embiid 4 years ago, Ben Simmons 3 years ago, and we were talking about going to win a title, not that they didn't have talent on the team or they didn't have some good players to help them out, and JJ Redick, who was a pro's pro, and bringing in Jimmy Butler, who was fun to watch and had his own sort of dog mentality and all of that. I hate that phrase, dog mentality. Shame on me for even bringing that up. But you get my point. Where I like Jimmy Butler. He ain't this. He ain't even close to this. This is what top 3 talent looks like in the association. And it's magnificent. I just watched Joel Embiid do something that I can't comprehend. And that dunk, I'm not even going to lie to you. When they went to halftime, I probably sat there and watched it on repeat. I don't know, 7,532 times until they returned back into the second half. And even when the second half started, I pretty much watched it the entire second half as well. I don't want to hear it because I saw non-Sixers fans try to explain to me that it wasn't that special and it wasn't that great of a dunk because he technically threw it in. Excuse me? You can't lose context on what happened before. He was ready to crush Jarrett Allen for what he did to him on that previous spot in the game where he hurt his back. He literally murdered a human being. Are you serious? You're not going to appreciate that? You're just a fool and you're a hater.
Hey, Brodes. An amazing one by the 76ers today. Joel Embiid had a monster game. He's the MVP for sure.
I would agree with you. And people keep asking me, do you think it's the Joker? Do you think it's Embiid? It's Embiid's to lose. If he plays this way for the rest of the way, there's no way that he's not completing this task. I mean, there's no way that he doesn't win it. So as long as this continues, which I can't anticipate it falling off by any means, I would imagine we see Joel Embiid with the MVP accolade next to his name as soon as this season's over.
Yeah, he's a monster. 76ers team is getting that excitement from the 2018 team with Jimmy Butler. They're like really fun to watch this year.
I would say it's probably even better, and here's why. That team was good, and they had a very talented 5, but we also knew that their 5 kind of got thrown in with one another in the middle of the season. And to be fair, James Harden being on this team now is going to change a lot with chemistry and how Maxey's going to play and how some of these players get the ball differently. So it's going to take time to get that cohesiveness, and it doesn't happen overnight. So there will be mistakes made when it comes to cutting at the right times and, just feeding off of one another, and that's fair. But we never, even on that team of a very talented 5, no one was playing at this level or at the level that James Harden can play either. There was nothing. So their 5 might not be as talented individually wise, but from one pure possessed human being in Joel, there wasn't anyone close to this. So that just shows you really, one, how much better Joel Embiid got, but how much more serious this feels when no one can stop him.
Yeah, Embiid definitely improved over the years. And the fact that we're doing this without James Harden is crazy. It's a really fun team to watch.
It's amazing. Watching from home felt like I was at the Wells Fargo Center. And I appreciate your time calling in. Thank you. Watching that, hearing the crowd erupt when Joel put that slam on. And you could see his teammates dancing around on the bench, and you could see the look in the eyes of people who are sitting right behind the basket or on the sidelines there on the court side. When you saw in the place, the roast people are going nuts. They're looking at one another like, what just happened? How did that just happen? All of it. It just puts it in perspective of Holy shit. Holy shit. This is our guy. This is us. He's one of us. He represents us. That's got to be the dunk of the year, no? What could possibly be better than that? The shot that they had from behind the free throw line, I lost my marbles. Oh, did I ever?